Hey everyone, welcome to another installment of Harry Potter Theory. In this video, we're going to be discussing the oldest wizard in history, and it might not be who you think it is. Though it isn't touched on much in the series, we know for a fact that witches and wizards live longer than us Muggles. Rowling even revealed in an interview that Dumbledore was 115 at the time of his death. Dumbledore is 115, and Professor McGonagall is a sprightly 70. Wizards have a much longer life expectancy than Muggles. But just because we're told what age Dumbledore lived to, it still doesn't really give us a proper point of reference. Dumbledore didn't really die under natural circumstances, and while he looked old, I think that he probably had many more years left in the tank. With a bit of digging, I was able to find a resource that gives us a little bit more insight into the ages of witches and wizards. According to the Ministry of Divine Health, the average wizarding life expectancy was reported at an average of 137 3/4 years old in the mid-1990s. This means that they live an average of 57% longer than humans, who cap out at 79. Not bad. But what's the limit? How long can they actually live if things go well for them? The longest living human or Muggle on record is reported to have been Jeanne Calment, a supercentenarian from the south of France. She was born in 1875 and actually died in the same year as Dumbledore, 1977. This made her 122 years and 164 days old, beating out our favorite Hogwarts professor by 7 years. So, if wizards live an average of 57% longer than humans, then I think that it would be reasonable to assume that the oldest living wizard was probably around 191, or 122 times 1.57, right? Here's where it gets tricky. There are many witches and wizards on record that easily outlived this number, and by a substantial margin. The man that usually comes to the forefront of people's minds when they think of a long life is Nicolas Flamel, aka the philosopher behind the Philosopher's Stone. Flamel was a French scribe, born in the year 1330 in the city of Pontoise. He lived in Paris for the majority of his life, and spent much time there over the course of the 14th and 15th century. Flamel is cited as having discovered how to make a Philosopher's Stone, a magical artifact with the capability to grant the possessor eternal life. Flamel, along with his wife Perenelle, were able to produce an Elixir of Life from the stone, allowing them to live ludicrously long lives. In fact, they probably would have been able to live forever, but Flamel, aware of the dangers of what could happen if the stone fell into the wrong hands, destroyed it. As they were no longer using the Elixir of Life, Flamel died when he was just shy of 700 years old. Not a bad run. Interesting that Jeanne Calment's father was also called Nicolas and also hailed from France. But even though Flamel lived to nearly 700 and used an Elixir of Life, he still wasn't the longest living wizard. So who was? According to a snippet from the Daily Prophet, the longest living wizard was Barry Winkle. Barry Wee Willie Winkle celebrates his 755th birthday in style tonight by throwing a huge party for all the wizards and witches he has ever known. 30 million are expected to attend tonight. That was the description under the headline, Oldest Wizard is 755, which appeared in the August 14th, 1991 issue of the Daily Prophet. There's a lot of speculation floating around regarding how exactly Barry achieved that age. The most popular theory is that Barry possessed some sort of Philosopher's Stone, or Elixir of Life, of his own. The second theory is that Barry was just of unusually good health and reached his absurd age naturally, pushing the limits of what witches and wizards can achieve. In a magical world where seemingly anything is possible, I don't want to discount anything. However, I really don't think that Barry could have outlived someone like Flamel without some sort of assistance, and I am of the impression that he too possessed some kind of Elixir of Life. What do you guys think? How did Barry reach the ripe age of 755? Let me know down in the comment section below. Until next time.
It is the unknown we fear when we look upon death and darkness, nothing more.